So it's Heavy Metal Webzine. I'm here with Rune. And Rune, you just did a very beautiful new album, which is a tribute to the Misfits. And today is the launch party, the launch concert. So first of all, we know you from already something we talk about. This is Copenhagen. Punk, made in Copenhagen, many beautiful groups. Some will meet also today. So let's start with setting a bit what is this work. First of all, tell us, how did it come out, this album, and how was the idea?
Well, I've been wanting to do this ever since I started listening to the Misfits, like back in 1999. But I didn't know much about this, the Danish scene or anything, and I don't know. I didn't have I didn't know how to do it back then. But then some years ago, I was like, now would be a good time to do it because there are a lot of great bands in Denmark. So I just started texting people that I knew from the scene and who would make this compilation. A colorful project, with lots of different genres and stuff like that.
I'm also very impressed by the variety that you have in this album. There's a lot of punk on punk, but there is much more than that.
Definitely.
It really tells about this contamination you always have in Copenhagen going on.
Yeah, for sure.
So how does it feel to be here now with your disc that you've been planning for many years?
It's so weird because this is very much the climax of this whole project that I've been wanting to do forever. And it's been a lot of headaches and a lot of money spent and just a lot of time doing this and gathering all these people, like 40 plus people doing it. It's crazy, but it's nerve-wracking, it's amazing. I want to get it over with, but also I can't wait to start. It's a lot of feelings.
I can really tell it. Now let's start to talk a bit about the disc. This artwork, I think it's absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
Well, let's take out the
paper. It shines a lot. There it is.
Beautiful. Here it is. So tell us, what is this artwork?
I did it, actually.
You did it?
Yeah, I do all my own artwork for the records I release. And I have a affinity towards pink and blue together. I just love those colors together. And then I have to be really careful when doing like something with the Misfits because there are a lot of like legal
the
limitations. Yeah, exactly.
And,
so what I did was I did a collage of a lot of different photos from the Misfits. So I stayed within like my legal limitations. And I love collages, and it needed some Misfits, so I...
there is some golf, punk, and a bit of skeleton.
Exactly, and then I named it All Hell Breaks Loose after probably my favorite Misfits track ever. So that was
I didn't have much doubt.
Well...
So this is your dream project. Talking with Casper, we will talk with him yesterday, he told me that you have been dreaming since you were a kid to do something like the Misfits. And then you started like 5-10 years ago concepting this album. The scene was not ready. And then in the last 3 years you have been collecting band and tried to give it a shape.
Exactly.
How does it feel now that it's real? I mean, how do you feel like it's exactly how you imagine as a kid? Or,
it's better.
It's
better. Even better because we managed to get so many amazing bands within so many different genres within the underground scene, of course. So it's amazing, but at the same time, every time I release a record, most often if it's one of my own bands, whenever I'm able to just put it in my record collection, I can kind of like put it behind me and then move on to the next project.
Exactly. So it's also like, what is next?
Yeah, exactly. So right now I'm working on a Ramones tribute.
Okay.
12-inch, which I hope will be ready for next year. So I'm very bad at just like resting on the laurels. I don't just I can't help myself. I can't stop.
Now, this is called a tribute to Misfits,
Yeah.
but it's not a tribute in the real sense. You don't have cover, you are actually rework on the song. Some of the
Yeah.
songs, they were pop, they were disco.
Yeah.
We will talk with people and they are absolutely amazing. So my question here is, how, what does it speak this to the underground scene of Copenhagen? I mean, besides of being the Misfits, how does it tell this city?
I think what this project illustrates is the variety in the Danish scene. The Danish scene is very vibrant. It's exciting, especially now. We had a long time where there weren't really any punk bands.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, it's exploded. There are a lot of amazing punk bands: garage punk, goth punk, straight up punk rock, 77 KPD punk style. You know, there are so many amazing bands, and I think this project illustrates that.
I totally agree. I mean, when I listen, the pre-listen of the tracks, I really felt like it's so broad, and you really describe a city that is not open the textbook and do punk. It's a city that you really experimentate and really have a forward-looking type of atmosphere. And
that was very important to me, because there's nothing more boring than a compilation of bands that sound the same.
Yeah.
I want variety and diversity. It's very important to me.
And you did it, as also you did in This Is Copenhagen.
Exactly.
There is so much more than just punk.
Yeah.
Now, for Motorsav, you are a singer in Motorsav, and is one of the band who are in this disc, and they have one song in this disc. So, which song did you choose?
We chose Violent World.
Alright, so not All I'll Break Loose.
No. I actually I suggested it, but the other guys were like, they want to do something else.
Okay.
And I was like, well, I'll see that as a challenge, because Violent World is not among my top tracks of the Misfits. They're like, I love every Misfits song.
Yeah.
So the best Misfits songs are like Divine, but this is one of the middle. To me, it's one of the better Misfits songs, definitely. But it was a lot of fun to try this this song that of course, I'm familiar with it, but I didn't know the lyrics by heart.
Okay.
So it was fun.
Something you discovered about this song when you were, working on that in your Motorsav sauce.
Yeah, exactly. And there were some lyrics that I've never been able to decipher until I actually read the lyrics, and I was like, so that's what they're singing. So there were a few epiphanies there. Yeah, for sure.
When I listen the pre-listen of this song, I really felt like it fit very well your style. It sounds like a Motorsav song, and of course there is the shell of Misfits. How did you blend it in your work, the two styles, and come out with something so seamless, so Motorsav, even if it's a cover?
Well,
where was the step that you really gave that song
that's a good question. When I write songs, I always I want to do like something that sounds like Black Flag, or something that sounds like whatever band, but I'm not very good at, I don't know what I do. So whenever I do something, it just sounds like Motorsav. It really just, but what I like about we have a earlier version of the cover before Casper joined our band. But he added some like gun club gothy guitars to it that just made it just made the cover. To me it made the cover interesting. We just do it and hope for the best.
So it just worked naturally.
We have our sound.
You just played your sound and it just come out. That's awesome. I mean, if it's natural, then you have your sound, you have your groove.
I have been writing music for plus 20 years, and of course I have evolved, but pretty much all the music have it has a sound, it has a vibe that I just cannot escape. That's just how I write music and perform music. But of course, we're all of the members of Motorsav are all from post-punk goth bands. At some point, we played in bands like that, and it just shows in Motorsav a lot these days. So
Yeah, it really sounds also in your latest album. You're really moving from a raw punk to something a bit more constructed and
Yeah,
influenced,
exactly,
and
exactly.
that's something-
I've actually been thinking about doing a soundtrack for one of my favorite horror movies, Threads, with Motorsav, because I just love the vibe you can get from like soundtracks. So
Yeah.
we're also very influenced by 80s horror movie soundtracks, a lot with the synths and stuff like that.
Awesome. So, is there something we forgot to say about these LPs? There's something else you want to share about that?
Not anything other than buy it now.
Height now?
Yeah, it's
Don't let it run.
it's fucking amazing, and it's selling fast. So
Yeah. So last chance, special version for the launch. Maybe there will be a few left. So
Maybe,
go and grab
maybe.
him right
Yeah.
after the concert.
Yeah.
And if you don't, buy it because it's great.
vi säljer den till you.
That
Yeah.
I think we're good. We go to
Thank
the
you so
next.
much. Thank you so much.